They laughed at him. Not behind his back, right to his face. Officer Landon Ayers was the precinct's errand boy. The guy who fetched coffee from meetings he wasn't invited to. The one who got mocked in roll call and still said yes, sir, with a smile. No one feared him. No one respected him. But no one knew his dark truth. But then the city changed overnight. A predator struck in broad daylight, snatching young women off busy streets, leaving scenes so horrific the photos were locked away for good. The press called him the daytime butcher. The NYPD was desperate. And in the middle of it all was Ayers. The man everyone thought was useless was suddenly on the killer's trail. But when the butcher's latest victim turned up alive in Ayers' apartment, the department realized the joke had been on them all along. One rainy afternoon, Landon stepped into Vice Captain Apollo Hardy's office. "Sir," he said quietly, "please try to understand. My mother's alone in the hospital. There's no one else to care for her. I just need 2 hours to make arrangements, and I'll be right back." Vice Captain Apollo Hardy didn't even look up from his paperwork and said, "Landon, for a police officer, the safety of his city comes before everything. In the last 27 days, a thug has murdered 80 women. And you're telling me your mom's more important?" Landon swallowed hard. "Sir, she's mentally ill. If she doesn't see me for too long, she gets agitated. She might cause trouble for the entire hospital." Vice Captain Apollo Hardy slammed his pen down. "Fine, you know what? Go sit in her lap. But before you leave, sign this blank form. I'll have your resignation typed up." There was no shortage of officers in the precinct. Losing Landon for 2 hours wouldn't have mattered. But Vice Captain Apollo Hardy had hated him for years, and this was just another chance to humiliate him. "Why are you staring at me like some dumb mule?" Apollo sneered. "Go get some coffee for everyone, and make it hot." Landon didn't argue. He just turned, walked out. There was only one person in the entire precinct who cared about him. Jamie Clark. She was younger, newer, and from day one had admired Landon's kindness. But because she was junior to Landon, she never told him how she felt. She found him by the vending machine, his hands shaking slightly as he fed in coins. "You okay?" she asked softly. Landon tried to smile. "I need this job, Jamie. With my paycheck, I can keep my mom in a private hospital. Without it, she'd be gone a long time ago." His voice cracked. He didn't finish the sentence. Jamie felt a rush of sympathy. She wanted to hug him, tell him everything would be okay. Instead, she said gently, "Listen, it's just 2 hours. Go to the hospital. I'll cover for you here. Your mom needs you more than Apollo needs his coffee." Landon shook his head. "No. If Apollo finds out I went against his orders, he'll suspend me. And then I lose everything." What Landon didn't know was that the next few hours would change his life. Because while Apollo was mocking him behind closed doors, Landon, the man everyone laughed at, was about to prove exactly who he was. But at the vending machine, Officer Jamie wouldn't let it go. "No one's going to suspend you, Landon," she said firmly. "Please, just go. Trust me, nothing will happen. I'll take care of everything here." Landon didn't want to leave, not in the middle of a manhunt, not with Vice Captain Apollo breathing down his neck. But Jamie's insistence finally got to him. With a quick nod, he grabbed his jacket, hurried to his motorcycle, and roared out of the precinct parking lot toward the hospital. Across town, at St. Mary's Medical Center, Landon's mother was causing a scene again. Her voice rang down the hallway. "Where's my son? Why hasn't he come yet? I'm not eating until he gets here." A nurse, exhausted and holding a tray, tried to soothe her. "Mrs. Ayers, please eat something. Your son's a police officer. He's probably busy with work. He'll be here soon." But Mrs. Ayers wasn't having it. "You people are useless, lazy, always making excuses. My son pays you thousands of dollars every month, and you can't do one thing right. When he gets here, I'll have you all fired. I'm Officer Landon's mother." She'd been a patient at St. Mary's for months, battling a severe mental illness. And sometimes she made life miserable for the entire hospital staff. Near the nurse's station, a young ward boy leaned toward the nurse and smirked. "What happened this time?" The old lady lost it again? The nurse gave him a sharp look. She does this every few days, like clockwork. It's like living with a human tape recorder. I swear, one of these days she's going to drive me insane. That's when Landon stepped through the hospital doors. The moment the ward boy and the nurse saw him walking towards them in his uniform, they went quiet. From down the hall, his mother's voice echoed again. "Hey! Where is everybody? Is anyone going to call my son, or do you all want to get fired?" Landon's heart sank. He rushed down the hallway and into her room. "Mom, it's okay," he said gently. "I'm here now. You can calm down." She turned to look at him, and her expression hardened. "Who are you? I don't know you." Landon's throat tightened. "It's me, Mom. I'm Landon. Your son, see?" He tapped his name badge on his uniform. "Right here, it says Landon." But she shook her head sharply. "You expect me to believe you just because you're wearing a uniform and have a little name tag? Do you think I'm crazy? Is that what all of you think?" The truth was, sometimes she didn't recognize him at all. Her illness had stolen pieces of her memory. On bad days, she'd look at her only child like he was a stranger. The nurses knew. The doctors knew. And most of them treated her with patience and kindness. But the ward boy couldn't help himself. From just outside the doorway, he muttered with a smirk. Yep, the old lady's lost it again. Landon's hands curled into fists. He could take Apollo's insults. He could take being treated like a servant at the precinct. But someone mocking his mother was different. And in that moment, Landon wasn't just a cop. He was a son. The ward boy's words still hung in the air. The nurse sighed and shook her head. "That old woman must have done something right in her past life to get a son like you," she told Landon. "If it were anyone else, she'd be rotting in some state hospital by now." Landon had been trying for 20 minutes to calm his mother, but nothing worked. She kept repeating the same thing over and over, that she wanted to see her son, while he sat right in front of her. Finally, he stood and walked to the nurse's station. Pulling out his worn wallet, he slipped 2 $50 bills into her hand. "Here's 100. Give her a sedative to calm her down. When she wakes up, make sure she eats something." The nurse eyed the cash and sighed. "Sir, what's $100 going to do these days?" Landon dug out his last 25 from the wallet and held it up. "This is all I've got left. I still need gas to get back to the precinct. But don't worry, my paycheck comes in 2 days. I'll give you more then. Just take care of my mom." She gave a reluctant nod. And with that, Landon left the hospital, his boots echoing down the hall. The moment he stepped onto the precinct steps, he saw him, Vice Captain Apollo Hardy, standing in the courtyard like a vulture waiting for fresh meat. Apollo's eyes locked on Landon, cold and predatory. "Well, look who's back," he sneered. "Had a nice visit? Served your mommy? Did she need you to tuck her in?" Landon's stomach tightened. He hated confrontation. He hated Apollo's voice even more. Before he could answer, Apollo closed the distance, grabbed Landon by the collar, and snarled loud enough for the whole station to hear. "You think you're the only son in the world? You think you're special? Every time I see you, you're crying about your mom like some whipped little boy. And guess what? Your mother never dies, does she?" The words hit Landon like a knife. His mother was his life. He'd sacrificed everything, his marriage, his freedom, just to care for her. And now this man, this arrogant, cruel man, had crossed the line. Something in Landon snapped. With a burst of rage, he lifted Apollo off the ground like he was nothing more than a sack of flour. In one swift move, he slammed him down onto a wooden table. The table splintered under the impact. "You talk about my mother again and you'll regret it," Landon roared. The crash brought every officer in the precinct running. They stood frozen, wide-eyed, at the sight in front of them. Apollo groaned, clutching his side. "You son of a bitch, I'm your superior. How dare you lay a hand on me?" But Landon wasn't done. He yanked Apollo up by the collar and drove 2 heavy punches into his face. His 2 teeth hit the floor. "I take your insults every day," Landon shouted, his voice shaking with fury. "But don't think for a second that I'm your servant. I serve this country, not you." The room was silent except for Apollo's ragged breathing. No one could believe it. Landon Ayers, the quiet cop who'd taken orders from everyone without a word, was now a storm no one could stop. He looked around at the stunned faces of his fellow officers. "I know we've all failed to catch the rapist," he said, his voice echoing off the walls. "But I'm not the only one responsible for that. And now I swear," he jabbed a finger toward the squad room, "in the next 24 hours, I will drag that monster into this station myself. If I can't do it, I won't show my face here ever again." There was silence. Every officer in the room knew something had changed. Landon Ayers wasn't the station's punching bag anymore. Landon turned, walked outside, and kicked his bike into gear. The engine roared, echoing off the concrete walls. He didn't look back. Hours passed. He rode without a plan, through crowded city streets, then empty back roads. By nightfall, he found himself at a liquor store on the edge of town. He walked inside, bought a bottle of whiskey, and headed straight for the shoreline. The beach was nearly empty, just the crash of waves against the sand. Landon sat on a rock, uncapped the bottle, and took a long, burning swallow. Then another. Half the bottle was gone in seconds. Suddenly, he froze. His breathing quickened. He stared at the bottle in his hand. "Oh God, what's happening to me?" he whispered. "Why am I drinking? I don't drink." Then it came. A cold, mechanical voice buzzed in his ear.
"You're drinking alcohol."
Landon jerked his head around, searching for whoever spoke. The beach was empty. The only sound was the waves. His heart pounded.
"What are you looking around for?"
the voice said again.
"Pick up the bottle and finish it. My quota isn't complete yet."
Landon's voice shook. "Who are you? Where are you? Why can't I see you?" The voice chuckled, a strange, hollow sound.
"If I told you who I am, you'd be in trouble. For now, just know this. You're alive because of me. And as long as you're alive, your mother is alive."
Landon's hands trembled. "What are you talking about?" But before he could get an answer, his phone rang. He pulled it out with unsteady fingers. It was Jamie. "Landon, what the hell have you done?" she shouted the second he answered. "Why'd you attack Apollo?" Landon blinked. "What? Jamie, I didn't touch Apollo. I haven't even been to the precinct." "Don't play dumb with me," she snapped. "You beat him up in front of the entire staff." Landon stood, pacing in the sand. "Why would I hit Apollo? I haven't hit anyone, Jamie. Something's wrong here." And then, over Jamie's voice, came the mechanical voice again.
"No, there's no mistake. I'm the one who beat your senior. I went to the station in your guise."
Landon's blood ran cold. He lowered the phone from his ear. Jamie's voice was still yelling, muffled now by the wind. But he barely heard her. He thought of the whiskey bottle in his hand, of how fast he'd downed half of it, of the metallic voice that seemed to know his thoughts. No, this wasn't normal. This wasn't him. Landon ended the call without saying another word. The waves crashed harder, spraying cold mist across his face. Somewhere inside him, maybe deep in his mind, maybe deeper, something else was moving. Something that looked like him. Something that could be him. Something that wasn't him at all. And it had just declared war on his life. And then the voice came again. Landon named it the Miracle System. The Miracle System said, "I have
come to change your life. If you agree to what I say, I will turn you from a pauper into a king. If you refuse, then not even God can stop your life from being ruined."
Landon Ayers froze. His skin prickled. "What kind of system says that?" he muttered. "How am I supposed to arrest the rapist in the next 24 hours? I'll lose my badge. My mother will die." The Miracle System didn't flinch. It laughed, loud, echoing, unnatural.
"Don't worry, you won't lose your job. Your mother will live. And listen carefully. Starting today, you will become the most dangerous officer in the New York Police Department. Oh, and in the next 24 hours, I will drag that rapist into the station. I'll help you."
Which Landon's head spun. He was gripping his knees just to steady himself. "Who are you?" he asked. His voice was barely above a whisper. Why are you doing this to me? The voice snapped back.
I don't think it's necessary to answer your questions right now. Get up, walk out of here. You'll see a black Range Rover parked on the side of the road. From today, that car is yours, and your life belongs to me.
Landon swallowed hard. His mouth was dry. He could feel his pulse in his throat. And deep down he knew. This wasn't just talk. This miracle system, or whatever it was, had power. Real power. He forced his legs to move step by step toward the road. And there it was. A brand new black Range Rover, shiny, untouched, sitting alone under a streetlight. Landon reached for the handle. But before he could pull it open, the voice returned.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. In the back seat, you'll find 5 black duffel bags. Inside them, $10 million in cash. It is yours. Use it to get your mother the best treatment. Just don't cross me. I have big plans for you.
Landon stood frozen, his hand still on the door. $10 million? He opened it slowly and slid into the driver's seat. The smell of new leather filled the air. He turned his head, and there they were. 5 huge black duffel bags. He unzipped one. The bag was stuffed with stacks of $100 bills. More money than he did ever seen in his life. Landon sat back, staring at the dashboard, trying to breathe. What was this miracle system? Who or what had chosen him? And why? What would happen if he refused to follow its orders? And maybe the scariest thought of all. What was it going to make him do next? Landon Ayers was no longer the man he'd been just hours earlier. The quiet, hesitant cop was gone. In his place sat someone holding the keys to a luxury car, $10 million in cash, and a direct line to something far more dangerous than any criminal he'd ever faced. This was only the beginning, and beginnings like this don't end quietly. If you think this first step is explosive, imagine what's coming next. The deals, the betrayals, the impossible choices, things that will push even the locked corners of your mind wide open. Because when a voice in your head owns your life, the only question is how far you will go before it destroys you. So what are you waiting for? Click the install button below and listen to Pocket FM's triple dose of action, suspense, and crime.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.